Welcome to another episode of Threads of Enlightenment. We have Marie today, and she's going to talk to us about her vision, what she has created today. And then, as our habit here at Threads of Enlightenment, we will take our guests back to the beginning to see and understand better who they are and how they got to where they are today. Marie, welcome to Threads of Enlightenment, and thank you for coming. Thank you so much. So, tell us some of the things that you have created. I know you have found a wonderful space that I've never heard about or I haven't encountered at this time, and you're my first. So, I'm excited as to how did you create this world that you are here today.
It's been an interesting journey, to say the least, Ken. Today, my mission in life, part two, as I affectionately call it, is to help
Mhm.
other widows and widowers learn to live well through clean eating and functional medicine, to laugh more, to finding things to surround yourself with positivity, and to perhaps even find love again. And I'm living proof that my 7 steps to healing after loss really work. And it has helped me become very, very healthy, my mind, body, and spirit. And through that process, my heart opened and love entered again. And many widows and widowers don't seem to think they can embrace life again. And it's what my late husband wanted for me. And I'm very, very happy to be able to inspire and help others to achieve the same thing.
That is awesome because I know quite a few. I've met um, widows and widowers that refuse to entertain the aspect of allowing another relationship, another person to come in and for them to even continue the path of growing and loving. And it is great to hear that you have that gift and that you are able to take the those that are in need of this change to that next level. I want to talk to you before that. So now you've painted this wonderful picture to us, and I want to go back, Marie, before even your husband was in play. I want to go back to when you were a little girl and your formative year. How was the family and the lifestyle that you had at that time when you were a younger woman, a
It's
girl?
interesting, Ken, to think back about how I grew up in a family of 8 brothers and sisters and
Wow.
mom and dad in a family in a house that was 1,000 square feet.
Hmm.
So 3 bedrooms, of course, mom and dad had one, and my brothers and my sisters all slept together. So we were very, very close, to say the least.
Hmm.
And my childhood was filled with love and mom and dad chasing each other around the dining room table, lots of affection
That's
and
beautiful.
lots of public displays. It was an amazing childhood. And I tell people today that my mom was put on this earth to feed people, and
Hmm.
her heart of gold, was just exuded every meal that she cooked for dad and our friends and our family. So growing up, we were surrounded by, this is a place to be, mom and dad's, and on Cherry Road in Rochester, New York. And it was a very close family and very strict because dad and mom were both raised old world. We were
Hmm.
raised Catholic, went to church every Sunday, followed all of the rules of the church, and basically grew up pretty darn happy and content with going to school, going to college. And I always thought, well, I don't think I want to be a parent. All of my sisters and brothers are parents. And I
Hmm.
think my role in life is to be an aunt. So I created this wonderful career. I traveled all over the world and learned all new cultures and met tons of interesting people. And that led me to the path of finding my husband back in 1986, a long time ago.
Wow, that is a beautiful story. I love that. The family unit, and that's how a family unit should be. I love the fact that you had a chance to experience that. It reminded me of some of the things that we did as a family. We used to, there were 5 siblings, and my mom and dad would make each and every one of us cook. We had a day to cook, and we would create our own meal.
Mhm.
And that was our assignment. We did everything. And so we had some of the best times that I could remember with my family at those meals. We could not complain about that person's meal at the time. So that saved a lot of problems, I think. So, but we knew some of the ones that was kind of, struggling here and there. But, again, you could not complain. You had to eat and enjoy and be thankful of what you had. And now that I'm looking back, I could see that that was such precious time that I got a chance to spend with my siblings and my mom and dad. And so here you are a little different from the other siblings in the sense that you decided, I don't want a family at this point in time. I want to focus a little. Traveling is always good. I recommend it for anyone because it kind of opens your mind to different culture, different food, different people's needs, and you kind of come out of there traveling a little more sympathetic, a little more empathy. It changes you. So you were traveling all over. You met your husband. How did that um, relationship go as far as after you met your husband moving forward in your life?
So, funny story. We met actually. I was on a ski huggers trip, and I was living in Rochester, New York, and I was on a bus traveling to Quebec to go for a week of skiing to learn how to
Mhm.
ski. And my soon-to-be husband, because he proposed on the second date, um, my soon-to-be husband, he was actually an instructor and a ski patroller. So he was a far more advanced skier than I was. So we met
Ah.
in December 1986, and the following May, he started calling me. And he goes, "You probably don't." Back then, the internet wasn't invented, so he goes, "You probably don't remember me." But as soon as he said hello, I knew exactly who it was because we
Mhm.
spent a whole week together on the dance floor and dancing and laughing and so we our first date was at this beautiful place in the world called Prince of Wales, and we proceeded to have this create this instant soul connection, and he proposed me on the second date, and he tells everybody or told everybody that no, no, I didn't propose. I told you I was going to marry you, and he was right. We both knew our number was up. So he spent 30 wonderful years. He was a firefighter, rose up to be captain on the fire department in Mississauga, which is right outside of Toronto. So,
Mm.
my travels led me to live in a completely new country and, had the wonderful honor of traveling cross country, visited every province in Canada. And you're
Wow.
right about traveling. You do become empathetic and way more open to different
Mhm.
cultures. And every place I've traveled, I've tried to learn more about that. And Canada was no different. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
country.
yeah. Like a traveling period to any place, I think, opens the mind. Opens, as you said, you become a little more aware of things, and it is. I suggest if you can get out, go to anywhere that my listeners and anyone that is listening to us, traveling. It is one of the best teachers that you can ever have, and it can be a wonderful time. And so here you are, you guys. I know Rochester a little. My brother lives there, and I know how cold you guys get. So Canada,
Oh,
parts of Canada, you share that coldness. Um, that's a cold place, man. But here you are, you had this wonderful marriage, and talk to me as to how what transpired. How did that move from your marriage, and for you becoming a widow, and how did you deal with that aspect? Because that is, I'm sure, could be a dark place. So I want you
yeah.
to talk to us as to when that happened and how did you handle it.
Yes. So we had just moved into a new house in the community we lived in, Somerville, South Carolina. It's a great golf course community. And
Mm.
we had just moved in, and a month later, Dave started not feeling well. So this we moved in September. In October, he said to me one night, it's about 10 o'clock. He had gone to bed early. He came out and said, "Honey, I think I need to go to the hospital. Think you need to drive me to the hospital? I might be having a heart attack." I said, "First of all, I'm not driving you. We're calling an ambulance." And being a firefighter, he knew. He goes, "No, I don't think it's a heart attack." So we drove off to the hospital, and that began the journey of being diagnosed with esophageal cancer, which is also
Mm.
known as the firefighter's cancer because of
Mhm.
all the toxins they inhale and the smoke. And so in December, the oncologist gave us a prognosis and said, "You have 6 months." And so
Wow.
we had our condo booked in Florida, and I said, why don't we just go? And Dave said, yes, we need to do that. And in the next 5 months until he passed away, the
Mm.
outpouring of love between us was just incredible. He chose not to take chemo because even though they said you must have chemo, you must shrink that tumor so you can eat. Well, when you have chemo, you don't feel like eating anyway. And the
Anyway, yeah.
prognosis was only 6 months more with chemo. So he
Mm.
chose quality of life over quantity. And every
Mm.
single morning he'd wake up and say, "Good morning, beautiful." And he'd say, "I feel terrific," even though, he was shrinking and he couldn't eat. And so it was an emotional 5 months caring for him. And um, when he passed away in my arms, peacefully at home, and he took his last breath, I whispered in his ears and I said, "Honey, I'll be all right." But I lied. Every single thing was different. Every single
Yes.
thing. And I remember the first days surrounded by family and friends, and you know, there were so many people around. It really helped be a buffer for that grief that was about to hit you like a bulldozer. And I remember lying on the floor maybe about a month or two later with open, empty arms, wondering, now who was I going to take care of? And the answer came back quickly, "You silly."
Yes.
So I dove into functional medicine to find out why my body had high cholesterol, why I had high blood pressure. So there's got to be more reasons than just take a pill for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
So I changed my food preferences, learned more about food as medicine, and within 6 weeks, the 30 pounds I've been carrying around for 20 years melted off. And
Wow.
my widow fog started to clear after a couple of months. And the widow fog is a pretty serious thing.
Yeah.
Um, and and so then I thought, this is amazing that more people need to know about the power of food as medicine, and healing your mind, body, and spirit. And so I went back to school to become a functional medicine health coach. And I
Mm.
thought, I'm just going to learn more about food as medicine because I truly believe there's a big link between food and cancer. And then my
Yeah.
mom passed away the same year, and it's a double whammy on the stress scale. And then she passed of Alzheimer's, and there's a link between food and Alzheimer's as well.
Mm.
So I thought I was just going to go back to school and become a health coach and learn more about food because food is my passion. And so I started writing a book. I started journaling, and
Yeah.
journaling is very therapeutic. And after 6 months, after a couple weeks of meditation, the 12 chapters came to me. And
Mhm.
then I thought to myself, there's a book here. And just 14 days ago, my book was published.
Oh, wow.
And so
Congratulations.
I am so thrilled to have new purpose in life, to be able to help other widows and widowers heal themselves after loss. And that's where the 7 steps came from.
Wow, that is an impressive story, Marie. That's absolutely impressive. I remember when my I was a single dad with my boys, and I used to tell them when they were younger, I can't wait till you guys get 18 and get out and go, and when you all go to college, I'll be gone, and all of that stuff. And I remember when the last one had left, and the energy not being there. I cried and cried and cried and cried. As a man, I would come home, and that house would be the silence of that time of the place because of the energy, and that was not there. And I can imagine your situation, but the fact that you took uh, control of it from the beginning after you know, and that you were out of the fog, as you said, the widow's fog. 6 months is pretty quick in for the length of time that you were married. So um,
Yeah.
that's a fascinating piece that you were able to achieve that.
And that was only healing my body. I mean,
Hmm.
it was about a year and a half before I even entertained the thought of, letting someone else back into my broken heart.
Yeah.
And I sort of, thinking, it's time. I've got so much love to give, and it's time to share life with someone. I had
Hmm.
no qualms. I had no dreams of ever finding a second love in my life, let alone
Yeah.
ever getting married again. But that's what
Yeah.
happened. It's incredible.
Wow, that is awesome. I'm so glad that you're here to be able to help other people in this place, because I know of so many of people that I personally know myself that can benefit from hearing your story, because it is a powerful story that there is life after death, as you say, in a relationship, and especially one that was so nurturing and powerful from the onset all the way through. And what a privilege that you had, that you were able to be there and to comfort him in his time of need. And so it is a wonderful, powerful story that I am hearing and getting the chance to listen to. Uh, the course that you took, as far as beginning to study food and all
Yeah.
of these things, and uh, seeing the correlation between cancer and eating. And there is a correlation between cancer and food. And
Mm.
there have been studies, so many studies. I'm from healthcare, and so I know. I remember reading some of those white paper studies about the entrance of all the processed food into our society, which gave birth to most of the sicknesses and disease that we
Exactly.
suffer today. So I know that that is a true fact. They actually, we can pinpoint the day, the time, the events that started um, the manifestation of all of these diseases due to what we eat.
Yes. Yes. Everything from obesity to
Yes.
Alzheimer's to cancer. It's incredible, the link between food as medicine. It's incredible.
Yeah, especially our Western civilization, the
Yes.
fast food,
Yes.
processed food, because some of those chemicals are there to numb certain parts of your brain to cause you to eat more. Some of those chemicals are there that will cause you to behave a certain way. And when we take those chemicals in mass consumption over the years, it will manifest. It
Mhm.
will show up somehow, as you mentioned, obesity and all the other things. And now they even drop the scale down as to who they consider obese. And that now just opened the field that even more wider to
Yes.
cause. But it is a powerful thing that you chose the food, because there is a correlation, Marie.
Yes.
Um, Talk to us about some of the. I know you lost weight. Talk to us about some of the additional benefits, some of the fears. I want to talk to you, because coming from that place, you had to overcome much. Can you
Yeah.
go into some of it? Um, I know loneliness may be some of it, but can you go through some of those dark places that you
Yes.
had to move yourself through in order to get to where you are today?
Can I talk about, and I wrote about not only the first of everything, and I wondered, everybody said to me, don't do anything until you get through the first year. And I wondered to myself, what is this magic about the first year? Am I going to
Hmm.
wake up after a year and be smarter and, more conscious of what's going on? What's going to be magic after that first year? And as time
Yeah,
went on, I realized it wasn't just the first of everything, it was the last of everything. It was the last
yes,
Valentine's Day card that you got from your spouse. It was the last birthday card. It was the
well,
last anniversary. And so you go through this year, the first and the last, and each one just would, grief is like a bulldog, would just grab you by the neck and throw you to the ground. And in the
Wow.
ground, my favorite spot was in the walk-in closet, and I would just crumble and sob, and time is suspended. You have no clue what time is passing. A lot of time does pass. You just have no, uh, it's nothing to relate to. So
Mhm.
lots of grief. I've never cried so much in my life, and you
Mm.
wonder where all the tears come from. And Joyce Widow
Yeah.
said in her book Widowed, she said, "A crying widow is about as attractive as the case of the flu." And so, a lot of people try to suppress it, but you
Yeah.
can't. I mean, if you suppress grief and dealing with the emotions, then your body's going to suffer.
Oh,
You
yes.
internalize it all.
Yeah.
And so, getting through the first one and the last one was very key to me. And then deciding to move on and embrace life again and finding new purpose in life. I was
Mhm.
30 years in technology. I worked for 30 years for Oracle. And so,
Wow.
completely different shift in life. And like I mentioned earlier, it's like, how did I get to be this age and not know what my purpose in life is? And it's so clear to me now. And I've helped so many widows and widowers learn and want to embrace life again, thinking that's what your partners would want. They want you to
Yes.
embrace life again, not just
Mm.
sit there and wait for your time to pass away. That's not what your spouse would have wanted.
Yeah, that is. I'm so in love with this story because I said to someone a while ago that we go through things because we were the best candidate,
Yeah.
meaning this way, that we were the best candidate as we come through out of that story, that we will be able to reach back. We would be empathetic. We would be loving. We would be open. We would be such a energy to assist the people that are in dark needs. That there is someone there that can empathize because you were there,
Yes.
and there is nothing more comforting for someone to have you that were in that situation that can speak to that very emotion, the very loneliness, the very pain, and to see that you are standing there holding them and encouraging them. What a life! So I am. You were the best candidate to come out and be able to now take that situation and within that situation find your purpose to
Yeah.
be able to become to the place where you are helping other people. So um, thank you for doing that because I know a lot of people are in that need of it. So you wrote your book.
Yes.
I know you mentioned meditation. Meditation, I tell people, is really a powerful tool if you understand how to utilize it and incorporate it into your life.
Yes.
Um, especially with breathing exercises and all of these things, because the meditation helps you to, as you talk about spirit, soul, and body, it helps you to cross over into that other realm. You come and you put your space and your mind into a place that you are tapping into pure energy.
Yeah.
My background is Christianity and Jesus Christ. Every time he went away into the mountain to pray and meditate, that he came out walking on water, Marie. He was healing people, feeding 5,000 with 2 fish, all kinds of stuff that um, people are afraid to go into uh, that meditation place because from there, um, you gain insight about yourself, you gain power, you gain direction. Talk to me about some of those times and what type of stuff that you pull out of from your meditation.
Yeah, that's a good question, Ken. I um, I never thought meditation was my cup of tea. I thought, no, no, I'll never
Mhm.
quiet the monkey brain, and it's too much going on in my head, and it's not for me. And then I decided to make a commitment to myself to try it for 30 days because they say if you try something for 30 days, it becomes a habit.
Yes.
I enrolled in an online course, and I before I'd listened to Deepak and Oprah. I really loved their messaging and Deborah King and many different meditation methods. And so for 30 days, I committed to Ziva and 20 minutes a day. And it was emotional, Ken. It's not always,
Mhm.
at peace. It was
Yep.
emotional with some of the stuff that's being pulled out, but
Yeah.
it was also when you meditate, you become super vulnerable and,
Hmm.
just open to the universe around you and what's happening. But after that 30 days, it has become a non-negotiable part of my morning routine.
Yes.
Even if I just lie there before getting up and put on a Vision 20-minute six-phase meditation, or with a blessing on the end and setting the perfect day. I
Hmm.
listened to him this morning, and even walking on the beach, you can do
Yes.
walking meditation, and
Yes.
it's just become such a powerful way for me for two things: to learn how to breathe,
Hmm.
because many people are just such shallow breathers,
Yeah.
and learning how to deep breathe and cleanse yourself. And also, it is so calming for grief. It just
Yes.
helps you ease and calm the anxiety, all
Yes.
the stuff that you're going through that's completely, different shift in life. It's awesome.
Yeah. I tell people that meditation comes in many different ways. There are
Yes.
thousands of ways by which one can meditate. The classic way, I like it for me,
Yes.
to find my place and meditate. As you said, I got to a place, Marie, that I can meditate in thousands of people. If I'm there and I choose to come into my place and my space in my mind, they don't exist.
Yeah.
I've been practicing it that long, but I tell people walking, running, dancing, vacuuming, washing dishes, anything that will cause you to come into a space where you are able to put aside the anxieties of life, the anxieties of living, the anxieties of your situations that you're in. You
Mhm.
need to have that time for yourself, because outside of that time for yourself, you're in a world of anxiety. And if you can't find that little space to, as you said, you talk about that little closet, is that little place that you just tuck yourself in and be hugged by um, God, the universe, just to be hugged. It is important that you need to get there, and I keep telling people, get there, find it, and get there. So here you are now. You have incorporated some of these meditation practices and the breathing, and it's not an easy place to be. It is not an easy place to be in meditation. You have to learn how to control your thoughts and
Mhm.
become the masters of your thoughts. If there's anything you're going to gain out of meditation, is the power of choice. Can you speak to some of that, Marie? Because it is choice. You have to start choosing things, because that's when you start remembering. Oh, did I turn the light off? Oh, did I do this? Did I do that? And you have to learn how to manage those thoughts by your choice.
Yes. And one of my, because I've got many, many things going on now. I'm very excited about the different paths I'm going to promote to the world, and widows and widowers. And so when I meditate, I try to focus on my breathing. And that for
Hmm.
me has
Yeah.
really, really helped
Yes.
tremendously. And if I see my thoughts going off over here, I'll just let it go, and I'll take care of you later,
Hmm.
and just return to my breath and return to that space in my head and my body, and just continue to focus on my breath. And the funny thing is, 20 minutes goes just like that. it,
Yes.
it goes by so fast, and
Hmm.
it's so wonderfully healing to sit there with yourself in peace for 20 minutes, even 10 minutes.
Yeah. I remember when 2 minutes was hard.
I know. And sometimes good if you're in a lot of traffic and you're getting frustrated, just focus
Yeah.
on the breath.
Hmm. I remember. I'm telling you the honest truth. I remember when I first started. I couldn't. My personality is I couldn't sit for 2 seconds, and so
Yeah.
to be able to get to 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and beyond is I controlled my day there before I even got up, and I was
Yes.
able to manage how and what I let into myself. So here you are. You're now you have found purpose, and purpose is powerful stuff because it will bring life to you.
Mm.
So you are now changing and you're doing your meditation and you're studying and all of this. What, how did you make the shift? How did you pivot from that place to now becoming a servant, which is a beautiful place to be? How did you pivot to that? I know you talked about the book and all that stuff,
Yes.
but how did you pivot, Marie, to now beginning to start a this type of thing that you have started?
Yes. So the key for my transformation, my life transformation, was becoming a functional medicine health coach. And once I learned more about it helped me articulate the 7 steps to healing. And the
Hmm.
7 steps to healing, which is my signature course, is not rocket science. But
Hmm.
but by becoming a health coach, it helped me articulate the 7 steps. And the
Hmm.
first one is food is medicine, and the second one is joyful movement,
Hmm.
because you don't want to just sit around and not sitting is the new smoking, as they say. So that's a very important key. And the next
Yeah,
one, of course, is meditation to help ease the anxiety of grief.
yeah.
And so I go on with the 7 steps to talk about increased laughter,
Hmm.
because when you laugh, it releases these incredible endorphins, the
Yes.
feel good chemicals. And
Hmm.
as I went through the grief process, I learned that developing healthy relationships was key. And whether
Yeah,
it's relationships with friends or family, you needed to unsubscribe to,
yeah.
stressful friends and even stressful family, or just
Hmm.
eliminate the negativity. And the
Yeah,
last step is to find new purpose, because you really want something to get you jumping out of bed again in the morning.
yeah.
And that to me helped when I became a health coach. It helped me find this new purpose for my life, part two. And it's all about the 7 steps to healing and giving hope to
Hmm.
17.9 million widows and widowers in the US and Canada alone, that they can
Wow.
live well, laugh more, and love again.
That is a massive amount of people
It
that
is.
you that have need of services like yours to be able to propel them from the state that they are in
Yeah.
to a state like where you're at, where you're able to now open your heart and be able to um, give your love and offer your energy to someone else, and that's beautiful. Um, and it's you talk about now you're getting a chance to find out your purpose. Isn't that so wonderful that you're able to reach out to that vast amount of people to help. And at Threads, what we'll do is just put it out there, all your stuff, because people. Our goal is to once you come is to send the people to you, Marie, so that you can take them to the next level that they need to go, so that they can become a better human spirit. We
Yes.
all need to become better uh, uh, individuals of who we are in order for us to do what you do and then become a servant and to serve the masses. And it is an honor to have you here to really enjoy and partake of your story. Um, what we're going to do is you started your program and you have the courses, and I am going to put links because everyone that is listening that needs this, I need you guys to get in touch with her so that she can help you and walk you through the dark places, that she was able to overcome by the decisions that she made, and she can help you in turn to do that. Um, Maria, I want to thank you so much for coming to Threads of Enlightenment. This is a wonderful story.
Thank you, Ken.
Everyone who's listening to this podcast, we hope to continually help you to learn how to embrace moments of darkness, because it is in the darkness that we learn how to develop and use our abilities to truly see those parts of ourselves, often invisible to us, in the light. It becomes your responsibility to navigate through all of your trials to find out who you truly are and begin your journey to loving yourself, which is possibly one of the most difficult things you will ever do in your life. To love yourself and to find the real you, but always remember to enjoy the journey. Thank you for coming by. Please subscribe, and if you can support us financially, we deeply appreciate it.